Hey Mepham, welcome back to yet another episode of Midweek Update.
In today's episode, we take a look at a Harvard student who, despite many challenges, is studying for his law degree, how our local Carvel stays open during the winter season, and an all-new teacher feature.
This and more on this week's Midweek Update. I'm Melanie Acros.
And I'm Ariel Boodhram, and welcome back to the Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places around the Mepham community.
Ariel, when I tell you to think about colleges, which ones come to mind?
Penn State, Hofstra, Cortland, Harvard.
Stop there. Did you know that Harvard has an acceptance rate of only 10?
What? Really? It must be really hard for students to get in.
Well, for one of our neighbors, it wasn't that hard. In fact, the Bellmore-Merrick community, we have a neighbor that is currently studying at Harvard.
Wait, are you serious? Like the Harvard Law School?
Yes, Ariel. When have I ever lied to you?
I don't know. I just wanted to make sure you weren't lying to me.
Anyways, here's Tyler Steinberg with a story all about Cy Charan Alicetti and his many accomplishments.
Picture this. You won a basketball state championship in high school. You were the president for the debate team. You've graduated from NYU for an undergrad in philosophy, followed that up with a degree in Harvard Law, and even played the piano. Well, that's the life of Cy Charan Alicetti, a 29-year-old from India who has had a very eventful life.
We say above grade level. So he was promoted from 4th grade to 6th grade. In 7th grade, he took ACT and he got distinction.
With a jarring 10% acceptance rate, getting into Harvard Law School is no easy task. In other words, only 1 in every 10 applicants get admitted.
After graduating from NYU at a very young age of 22, Abi has this distinction of becoming one of the Harvard Law School's youngest new admits.
The achievements and accolades Abi has won differentiate him from the crowd. However, there is something truly special that sets him apart from everyone else.
In terms of getting around in the city, for example, only about a quarter of the subway stations are accessible, and that's sort of how I get around mainly in the city since I don't drive. I end up, either having to take longer passages throughout the city or having to use buses, which aren't totally reliable either.
In the world of law, Cy Charan has not just broken barriers, but redefined what's possible. The wheelchair is not a limitation. It's a symbol of resilience.
Abi has faced many challenges health-wise. He had many issues, but each time, whenever he was hospitalized, he used to bounce back, recover, and go back to his normal life.
The disability as such never stopped Abi from trying, not achieving what he really aimed for. No matter how many bumps and hurdles that he faces in his journey. And in that sense, he is very strong-willed, with strong willpower, and is unrelenting.
Certain obstacles present themselves, that there are ways around them. If you are creative and if you have the support of your family and friends, that there's no obstacle that's generally unovercomable.
Abi's story serves as a testament to the victory of ability over adversity. For B&B, I'm Tyler Steinberg.
Thanks, Tyler. That was such an inspirational story.
I'm so proud of Cy Charan and all the things that he has accomplished.
I, too, am so proud of all the people in the Bellmore-Merrick community.
Ariel, I am so proud of us. We are halfway through junior year, and do you know what that means?
No, what does that mean?
It means we're making our schedules for senior year.
Wait, that's so true. I totally forgot about it.
You want to know who didn't forget? Emma. Here's Emma Santiago with more.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Counseling and Wellness Center, where the process of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors selecting their next year's courses is in a full swing. Teachers across the building are pitching classes they teach to entice students into joining their classes, and students are weighing their options with their guidance counselor by engaging in meaningful conversations about their future.
We present to students the different electives that are available to them, and then the different subject areas will also help to pitch their specific electives so students can get an idea of what is available out there.
I, for one, am excited to finally take chemistry in AP Lang. For B&B, I'm Emma Santiago, now sending it back upstairs.
Thanks, Emma. I will definitely keep that in mind as I get ready to meet with my guidance counselor. So much to do.
Here's something to keep in the back of your mind. We have the winter ball next week. We are getting dressed up, and there will be music, dancing, and sweets.
Hey, Ariel, what's your favorite sweet?
Well, I really like Carvel ice cream. I can always go for a peanut butter sundae dasher.
Oh yeah? Even during the winter season?
Of course, ice cream is amazing in the winter. Imagine sitting with your friends, it's snowing, and you have a tub of ice cream.
I think you mean hot cocoa.
No, ice cream is a year-round dessert.
I'm cold just thinking about it. I'm so confused on how ice cream shops stay open during the frigid winter seasons, especially since they only serve cold treats.
Well, Liam Osborne is here to talk about how our local Carvel shop stays open during the winter season.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. But what happens to the frozen treat business when the winter season hits? While many ice cream stores see a slowdown in business at this time of year, Carvel franchise owner Dan Irante finds other ways to attract customers.
Well, lucky for us, people still have birthdays in the winter, so they still come in, they get the birthday cakes. So the cake business is what really drives our winter business.
During winter time, it's really hard for ice cream stores to stay open, so we know a lot of places close during the winter time. But Carvel, luckily, we don't close. We make these holiday cakes, so like Christmas is coming up, we have Christmas cakes, Hanukkah's coming up, we have Hanukkah cakes, and Thanksgiving as well, we had this turkey cake.
While cake sales do help to keep business running in the winter, Carvel's ice cream still draws in plenty of customers on the daily.
Oh, just to get the feel of summer, you think ice cream, you think summer, you got to cool down your body. So winter, everybody's like always in the house, you get out in the house, you go to Carvel, it kind of brightens up your day more.
But what separates Carvel specifically from other ice cream stores?
All right, so what makes this shop great is that we're a testing shop. So this summer we had the opportunity of testing Oatly ice cream, which was great because we had a whole new clientele of guests that could never step foot into a Carvel were able to actually come in and get ice cream. So we have a dairy-free option, and the test went so great that Carvel is going to run it nationally sometime in 2024.
Oh gosh, ever since I was a kid, which going back 1983, fresh, friendly staff. They even said, "Oh, you want to try some?" So they give you everything you want when you first get into the store and everything, and then always fresh, always delicious.
For B&B, I'm Liam Osborne.
Okay, be honest. Do you really think people go to the ice cream shops during the winter?
Of course, I am one of those people who will get ice cream during the winter.
Okay, weirdo.
Geez, a little mean, don't you think?
Nope. But you want to know who isn't mean?
Who?
Brie Goodman.
Well, I do agree on that. Why do you randomly say that?
Because she is here today to introduce you to today's segment, Teacher Feature.
Thanks, guys. I'm Brianna Goodman, and I'm pretty sure the force of gravity is keeping me on my feet today to introduce to you a tremendously passionate teacher here at Mepham. There's definitely friction in learning exceptionally rigorous courses such as physics and forensics, which accelerate at very fast paces. But we're in luck, because there's one teacher that impacts students with their journey with science here at Mepham. Today, Bridget Flanagan will introduce us to Mepham science teacher, Miss Nigro.
Mrs. Nigro has been a science teacher at Mepham High School for 13 years. She shares the curiosity for how the world works and her passion for science by teaching physics and forensics here at Mepham.
She's a really great teacher because she's not here for a paycheck, and she's not here because it's what her degree is. She's here because she loves to teach people, and she really wants everyone who passes through this school to have a great experience with science and with learning.
As a very small child, I was always really intrigued about how things worked around me.
And science, I think, is just such a beautiful way to just make observations about facts, leaving opinions behind, and just being able to use a universal language of mathematics to be able to make predictions and explain things that just go on around us. And I just think it's so pure and so beautiful.
Mrs. Nigro delivers a unique and dedicated experience to her students. She's comical and makes learning fun and exciting, while going out of her way to help students with their rigorous courses.
It's really fun and exciting to learn, and in turn that helps make an engaging learning experience. I think that's really cool. She also has a lot of extra help hours as well, especially in physics, such a difficult class. You need to memorize all of these equations and memorize everything. So if you're stuck on something, it's really handy just to have a teacher that's always there for you, and she's really helpful in that regard.
Mrs. Nigro goes the extra mile to help her students succeed, but also extends her passion to help students achieve beyond the classroom.
She works real hard. She gives them many opportunities to succeed at physics, right, which I think is important. And I also believe, I know she does a lot with the robotics, so she's a big integral part of the Mepham community.
Takes her love of physics and science into this club. She's always willing to help us when we're having trouble in building our robots, and she stays hours after the time that she has to be here just so that we can have more time to create and work together.
Mrs. Nigro giving students an outlet to create and understand the world around them is truly impactful and important to the Mepham community. By helping students individually to understand and really learn concepts, she connects and engages with them to form meaningful bonds. For B&B, I'm Bridget Flanagan.
Mepham is definitely lucky to have Mrs. Nigro, and I'm super grateful to have her as a teacher this year in physics. She's enthusiastic and cares a lot about her students. Well, that's been all from me. I'm Brianna Goodman, and let's conserve the momentum of this episode and toss it to Ariel and Melanie back in the studio.
Thanks, Brianna, for all those physics puns. See, Ariel, I told you Bri is not mean, and neither is Miss Nigro. She's a very beloved teacher.
Yeah, I know. I actually have physics with her.
I didn't know that.
Well, if you paid attention when I speak, you'd probably know.
I do pay attention, but only for sports.
Is that your way to segue for sports?
Yep, that's exactly what I was doing. Here's Luke Yepes with your Midweek in Mepham Sports.
Thanks, Ariel. I'm so excited to kick off our first Midweek Sports of the new year. Let's jump right into it, starting with our Bulldogs hockey team, who played against Valley Stream this past Monday and caught a W with a score of 7-1. Now over to the mats, where we talk about the wrestling team, who had the annual Ted Peterson tournament this past weekend, where Yana Fufas became the first ever female to win the tournament. Congratulations to Yana and the rest of the team, who had a meet last night at Baldwin High School. Also, congratulations to our kickline team, where they placed first in pom in team performance and second in kick and jazz, and our cheer team, who placed first in their meet this past weekend. On Tuesday, both of our basketball games had cancellations due to inclement weather conditions, but B&B's Michaela Dobby is down in the gym to tell you more.
Thanks, Luke. Tuesday night, both basketball teams were supposed to face off against Long Beach in what were two highly anticipated matchups. However, due to inclement weather, the games have both been postponed to later in the season. As the halfway point of the season is here, both teams were looking forward to using these games as big momentum swings, as playoffs are right around the corner. Being a member of the girls' team, this is definitely a disappointment. However, it gives us even more time to prepare in anticipation for this close matchup. It really should be an exciting game when we have it, and a very exciting second half of the season. Now back to you, Luke.
Thanks, Michaela. The basketball team's next games will be Friday, as both take on the Generals of MacArthur, with the boys home and the girls away. Man, I love the winter sports season, but that's all for me. For B&B, I'm Luke Yepes, and now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Luke and Michaela. It's such a shame that both games got canceled.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Midweek Update. We'll be back next week with all new stories from around the BMCHSD that bring you inside the parts of the community we don't always get to see. Until then, I'm Ariel Boodhram.
And I'm Melanie Acros. And we'll see you all next midweek.